This is and welcome to the LDM Show, and we're just going to continue from last week's show. But this time, we're going to be more into depth with the women's issues, your accountability, and all that other stuff. And we're still here today with our guest, Mo from Puerto Ricans and Will from XY101. So without further ado, let's go to the show.
Because they said we was not going to get, my mom and dad said it, they was like, we were not going to get legally married until we really realized if we really wanted to stay together and be together. They've been together for years, right? Because they said that paper would force them to be married, and now they're going to be angry with each other versus if they live with each other, now they got to work with each other because they want to be there.
Right.
That's an interesting point because two things. One, I remember a comedian said that marriage...
Before you finish that sentence, we're going to go back to a commercial break. And again, this is like the second part of last week's show, but we will be right back. I just thought about that. Like, we went long way.
You said 10 minutes.
We went long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record myself saying, if you want to find out the rest of this, come back next week when we continue.
Okay.
And then we just do it. Now we did 2 episodes.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, welcome back to the LDM Show. And again, this conversation has been going on since last week. It was so good that we jumped in from my body, my choice, to now relationships. So we're going to keep on going. Before we went to the commercial break, Mo from Puerto Ricans was about to say something. Go ahead, shoot it out.
I was going back to what I remembering a comic once that marriage should go back to the idea, since it's a license that you had to get to be married,
right.
Then you should do like you do with the DMV. You go there every 5 years to renew said license.
Yeah.
You go through the whole process that they do. So instead of an eye chart, you get the chart of her when she was 20, and then you get the picture of her that she is now.
Right.
And if you go after the chick that's 20, you failed, license denied. You're automatically dissolved. Bingo, that's it.
Yeah,
I love that
which
idea.
is a lot of people, they used to do wedding reunions after 10 years. Then after a while, I started noticing 7, 5. So it's like now it's every 5 years someone has a
vow renewal.
Right. And that's the perfect thing to do is recap that one part of your life, unless it was a bad one,
That's
shotgun marriage. Then you don't want to recap that life. Mm-hmm. But if it was perfect and nice, you know what I'm saying? It's great. Now, another thing, too, when I'm mentioning weddings, when you have a big wedding and you're spending so much money on nonsense, thousands of dollars on a wedding, that makes it stress on your life. I notice a lot of people that have these big, 10,000, 20,000 weddings because the female wanted it, they wind up divorced. Because that is still in the guy's mind. Now, I gotta, in pocket, that's what I'm saying. In my mind, I gotta now work harder and overtime because I gotta make these $20,000 back. Why sometimes the female doesn't, she doesn't stress that. She thinks it's done. But the guy's stressing it. That.
And then that night that she has the nerve to get mad about a dish.
He blows up. Well, we would have had better dishes if,
We could have had a whole maid to clean these damn dishes.
And then I noticed, speaking to some of the elders when I was in college, we had to do a paper. I spoke to them. There was a couple of things that they told me was funny. But one of the things, half of them didn't have big weddings.
No.
Nope.
They did not have, and they've been together for mad years. And there was one, if you ask how many people, like especially in the hood, I had this $10,000, $20,000 wedding. Where you live? Or an apartment with my mom, or a regular apartment. Well, that $20,000 could have had you an investment into a house.
Right.
So when y'all move together, now you got one house that y'all both bringing up versus living in his apartment or her apartment. Because one of y'all had an apartment before that. So and that also is a mistake. Because I had my own room. He knows. That's how we started the LDM show.
Right.
We always talk about that. But then when my wife at that time, girlfriend, came, we stood there for a little bit longer. So I said, okay, you know what? My grandmother's getting sick. I'm going to leave here. I'm going to move in with my grandmother in her room, in the room that she had to take care of her. But I also wanted to see where was her mind.
Right.
And then I told her, nah, you know what? No, forget it, because then we ain't going to have no privacy. She said, you ain't going to have no sense of mind control when you're sitting here and not knowing how your grandmother's doing.
Right.
So we ain't going to have that because then you're going to be stressed and you're going to make us stressed. Let's go. We moved to our mother's. When she said, oh, I am pregnant and everything, this was after we got married. We got married first. We did the old thing. Mm-hmm. A year later, she wound up pregnant. I said, okay, no, we have to go find an apartment of our own. Mm-hmm. Because my mindset was, if you start bitching and everything, I'm going to be like, this is my grandmother's house. I already felt that in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait a minute. Because one time I was playing a video game. She was like, can you load it down? It's my video game. And, whoa, you know, like I was about to, and then I realized, so that's why I was like, we get our apartment together.
Right.
So that $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, you could have got something
Space
together. And we only wasted about $1,000, $2,000.
Between the licensing and everything?
No. When we got married here, we only wasted, carry the one, put the 2 commas, $300. And that was with dinner and everything.
That's how you do it.
And that was with the dress and the suit because my suit only costed me like $25. I went to Barnes and Nobles. I mean, not Barnes and Nobles.
Portobello?
The one in 149, the one in the corner.
What is
the one that my brother was going to.
VIM.
Yeah, the VIM and all that stuff. You know, and then you go to the other stores and Marshalls and stuff. That's when she went to Fordham and got her wedding dress. And we went and because we was like, we're not gonna spend the money that we're saving to get our apartment to thing. And then the most money I spent was almost $5,000 on our wedding, and that was because we were going to the Philippines. 3 tickets for me, my son, and her, and she didn't even know that I was doing a surprise second wedding because she kept saying, oh, I wish my family was here. Right. And, you know, or one of our families were here. So I was like, she's real close to her family. I'm going to surprise her. And we went. But I didn't spend that much money. I told her brother, find me the cheapest place where we can go. And he was like, I even do one better. I'm going to talk to my mother-in-law because she's the cook of the group. She cooked. Her best friend said, oh, you're going to get what? Oh, cool. I'm going to call a friend. And they all chipped in for her makeup, her photo. Their boyfriends and friends chipped in for the photographer and everything. Her nephew said, I'll be the video. So they all came in and made this. If you see the wedding photos, you're going to be like, dang, you spent a lot. No, we didn't.
He said he spent the plane tickets.
The plane tickets were more than the wedding.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody chipped in. First of all, they were shocked that I wanted to do a wedding for her with her family. They felt like, wow, that was so cool. But they was like, wait a minute, he's spending so much money on the tickets. That's all you need is a whole group. Why do you do a house party and you automatically be, what you bring in? The lasagna? No, don't bring it because, you know, why can you do that for a house party but you can't do that for a wedding? I don't understand that.
There's no rule that doesn't say that.
No.
It's just the
Perception,
idea and perception that either the parents or the husband, depending if there's no parent,
Right.
is responsible
And it's not.
for bringing her. No,
It's tradition.
It's not. It's supposed.
it's a ridiculous tradition.
But if
how many traditions
if you're telling
are
the family, I want you all here to celebrate. Why can't they all celebrate part of your life with you and bring some of the stuff?
That's the key word. It's a celebration. Everybody's
Charlie
here
Murphy.
to celebrate you. Okay, I mean, in past, they didn't come to celebrate. They came to get the food. Like
Oh, yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I'm here for the food.
Some of them still do. They'll be like, I never seen you with that person. Oh no, that's the Tupperware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so
See, for me, I'm okay with this tradition because as long as I can find a cow, her parents have to pay for the wedding.
yeah. Because what is it? The parents of the bride
Right,
is the one
exactly.
that's supposed to pay for that.
Not mine,
That's
not
why
mine.
That's why I think when guys have a boy, they celebrate.
They go,
They just celebrating more
"You."
because they know they don't have to pay for the wedding.
Well, no, because that's my whole thing. There is kind of just like, all right, so all I got to do is be like, hey, look, here's some beef. All right, I want to marry your daughter. And like, yeah. And then you go, what do you want to do for the wedding? Talk to your parents. Because it ain't my bill.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how we think of this
That's
tradition.
that's
Like, really
the
think
old
about
tradition.
that. Really think about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not
My
mad at
family
this
is
one.
like, it's like what he was saying. It would be a whole thing that we all get involved. It's all about family.
Right,
As it should be.
Her part, her family, my family.
Merging.
And I've had it where it was all merged for my brother's sisters, my brother's wife's cousin's wedding. It was all
Right.
merged. Everybody did their part, brought in, and it was. And when you look at it, you would think, wait, they must have paid a fortune. It's no.
No.
Everybody contributed. Everybody were a part of it. Both parents
Right.
put in, and everybody, friends and family, otherwise put in for it as well, and made it this
Wait.
event.
Can you just go back? Whose wedding was it again?
It was her wedding.
It was your brother's.
My brother's sister's cousin.
See, look at that. Look at that. Not even his family, as far as blood relation, right? But it's his family,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying? Like that's something there,
Yeah.
right? When everyone. So put it to you this way: anybody who would get an invite is participating and putting it together.
Right.
That's how it should be.
That's what it always.
That's what it wound up being. Everybody put their part. We had, the band or the DJ here, family members who were also already bartenders.
Right.
So they bartended and they had the tip jar for themselves. Catering was the only thing that was done, but it was also
Right.
great food.
Right.
And we had everything set up, and then we had people who volunteered, came in, dressed, boom, here we go, serving.
Yeah.
They were all volunteers from, I forget what service it was. They came in and they helped out. And that was the fewest cost was that.
Yeah,
Fewest cost.
like me, the only thing that cost me the most was the tickets, of course. But the house that we rented with the pool, I didn't know I rented it. They just said, "Hey, I need a little bit more." I gave it to them,
They knew
and
it,
they was
yeah.
like, "We got a surprise for you." I said, "You found a place?" They was like, "Yes, perfect place for you where you can, it's gonna be nice. It has a swimming pool and all this." So I was like, "All right, cool. Here it goes." I sent them the money and the money for the food because her mom was gonna cook it, but I felt bad if you waste the money. So I told her, I'm gonna send you $200 American, which is big over there,
Right.
for you to buy the food and you can cook it. She was like, I didn't need that. So I said, no, but I'm gonna send it to you anyway. Long story short, when you see the platter, it was more than what I sent it. So they actually paid a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm over here partying, and we said, as soon as it started getting late, that I started seeing other people, starting to leave. I was like, all right, let's go. They was like, where you going? I said, we gotta leave. He said, no, we rented this for the weekend. I was like, but you didn't ask me for weekend money. And they was like, yeah, we found the cheapest place. I was like, the cheapest, but this shit. And then I thought that it came like that, decorated. No, it was one of the uncles that. So,
Nice.
Things like that. And she was happy because her grandmother was there. Her uncle that she haven't seen for a long time appeared. And she was like, what's going on here? And then my second proposal, which you can see on my page, was a magic trick. I did a magic trick, picked this card, and she picked it. I put it back in. And I was like, is this your card? She was like, no. I said, damn, I made a mistake. I'm going to put it right back, in there. And then they put up the curtain on my card. And then I was like, is this your card? And when it turned around, it said, will you marry me? Again. And she was like, and then they dropped the thing, because the card was there. I told her, take the card, and when I tell you to flip it. So when they put the curtain up, I was going on my knees, and I said, okay, now you can flip the card. Is that your card? And the camera guy, which is her nephew, caught the card and says, will you marry me? Again. And she was like, what? And they dropped it, and I was on my knees. All that was prepared from me here and them there.
Right.
So when I say a wedding doesn't have to pay a lot, it's the memory you make from that wedding. From the time that you propose to the time you say, I do, has to be a memorable thing. Now, did I go a little overboard with the memory? I think so, because I'm afraid to try to do another one because it's never going to be as big as that one.
No.
But the memory of it is what lasts. And when a female remembers, wow, this guy was so... Now, it can backfire, because sometimes they be like, why you can't be that romantic guy that you were, you know what I mean? So it might backfire on you. But you have to keep the thing going. Like in a relationship,
Right.
you have to keep little sparks here and there. Even doing something dumb, causes the relationship to be funny. Especially when you're like in a tense situation. I found that, okay, I know she was tense because she was mad at me about something. I think it's about changing the channel. I don't know. Because, girls have their own reason. But you find something to blow up that tense. That's why me and my wife would tell everybody, we never argue. Now, we do have tense moments. Like, I know something wrong with her. Like, yesterday I was in the hallway. We had a conversation. She was working. And she's like, I'm working. I can't hear. When I went in, she was like, so I knew it was about work. So I said, you finished your work? She said, yeah. I said, wow, because you were a little loud with that keyboard. I couldn't hardly hear. I had to raise my voice. Like, I made a joke. She was like, oh, so I was the loud one. And then she started laughing, because that's how we break the ice.
Right. Break the ice, yes.
I understand why you were mad, and I'm sorry. But I'm not going to say sorry, so I'll break a little thing.
Right.
But that's us. Sometimes you have to say sorry to a person because they those people that want to hear sorry. So like you said before, you have to know where you at with that person. You can't just jump in it, the conversations and stuff. But when it comes to, like, when we were talking about my body, my choice, it's the same thing of who you married. That was your choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes, it is.
Some guys feel like, I have to marry this girl because we've been together for 2 to 3 years. And they assume you're supposed to. No. Do the Latin thing, man. They be together. My grandmother and grandfather had been together 45 years before they passed away. Never got married.
Yep.
Well, I don't think they could because my grandmother was really still married to my real grandfather. And, and he was still married to his real wife, which they met 45 years ago, and they never got the divorce.
All right.
Right, pause. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun. Which I never found out until they died. But anyway, that's a different story. I always thought they were the first lovers together, and I realized they wasn't.
What?
That was their second marriage.
Let's really talk about it. Who doesn't come from a telenovela if they were born after, like, 1955?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
That's true.
I'm just...
Man has a point.
Yeah. Under that, you have like a whole, like, why is this, the roommate? Wait, Auntie is still with her roommate after 20 years?
That's where they get all the
Why
inspiration
they only got
from.
a 1 bedroom? Now, you know what I mean?
You see what I'm saying?
The drama comes out, like he'll say, like when he said, my brother's sister. I'm like,
Exactly.
Ain't that your sister?
Brother's sister's cousin. Yeah.
That's why I was like,
No, but I heard it the first time and said, wait a second, that math don't math.
that's why I was like, the brother's sister, like, you don't like her that much, you don't want to call her
Your
sister.
sister.
Because me and my sister does that. Me and my sister be like, your brother wants you. Ain't that your brother?
No.
Or your dad is looking for you. Be like, that's your dad. No, that's your dad. And then they always get me because, well, you're the one that was born first, so it's more yours. We got the leftover.
It's like sad.
But when you said that, I was like, okay, the novela. Like, oh.
Yep.
And when he was talking, I had all this other drama, like, oh, okay, maybe it was a long-lost sister, but that's a sister that was from a different father that they never knew of and came, I had like a whole telenovela thing. But it happens, like anybody, but I actually thought since they were together since my mom was so young, and I'm like, but then something, like when something bothers you, but you don't, like.
And you finally get that.
My last name is not my grandmother's last name,
Right.
but it's my mom's last name.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. I was like, she got married. That's why, to my grandfather. That's what it was. But then one day I found my grandfather's last name. But again, I'm small. I didn't question it. They my grandparents, but then until they passed away, I realized they had the marriage last names. My grandmother's name was my last name, but since she was married, it was a different name. Him, it was his name regular because he's the male.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, oh, novelas. I was like, as long as they didn't come out, they found out they were sisters. I didn't want to reach that episode of the novela.
It is a small island.
Then it comes out that Beco Sai episode. Mira!
Yeah. I told you, don't ask questions. But, when going back to when you're a relationship and everything, it has to be that time. Even with, we have the Transformers here because it's the 40-year anniversary. Optimus Prime had a type of relationship with everybody else, especially with the bad Megatron, but they had that hate-love relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Where they understood them, but you notice none of their guys understood. Why are you keeping him alive? Just,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the same thing in a
That's the
relationship.
same thing with what was it? Magneto and Xavier.
Yes.
Right. Like.
Yes, the same thing.
And notice that's because they both come from the same struggle, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times, people in positions of power are more closely related than the people who believe what they believe
Right.
will ever understand. Because when you look at it, it's really hard to realize just how similar in thought you are with somebody that you're against. You know.
Like they say that one person that you had a fight with all of a sudden became your friend.
Right. Yeah.
Back in the days, like all of a sudden you're friends. And the same thing when you see a relationship. I don't know how they're together.
Right.
Like
But
why are they together?
They are. We may not understand it.
Right.
But there is an understanding that they both share.
Because that combined shareness, like you said, is more powerful than any negativity that they have
Exactly.
in there. Now, they don't have that, I cannot tolerate this in their relationship. That will break them up. But they have that more of, we can relate.
It's more like, why can't you just come to my side? Is their relationship?
Yeah, and
Like-
not even that. They're not asking for you to come to their side or me to go. They're already on their side. That's why.
Yeah.
But we don't see that.
Yeah.
It's like that commercial.
Like that saying goes, agree to disagree.
Right.
Exactly.
No, but you see, no, I'm not going to say the name of the commercial, but it's a dating type of thing. And they said, find a person that gets you.
Yeah.
On the dating app, on
Yeah.
the commercial. That's the same thing because you don't understand why. Because there was one of the commercial that the girl was like kind of pissed, and he looked and he seen that he was kind of mad, and he started singing "Coming in the House," and then she was like, "Yeah," and forgot about it. Find a person that gets you.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so that's why when we look at some, like, I don't know why she stays with this person. Now it can be mental wise because you know she's trapped, but when you see them having fun together and everything, you're like,
Yeah.
Really?
how? Why?
Yeah.
Like what? We don't get it, but leave them alone. As long as they're not abusing each other,
Right.
Physically or mentally, then they're
Exactly.
okay. You know. Some people like, why you with her? She argues every day and all that because maybe he likes that. He likes that.
That back and forth.
Yeah, you don't know if he got chains in the thing, leather with the latex. You don't know.
It's like the Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit thing. Say, why are you with him? He makes me laugh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Find that one thing, you know, and yeah, even though that,
But it's like, damn, she's gorgeous. And he makes me laugh. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
And it's
And
so
then
funny.
that's
Why-
when we
why
all
is it-
started to learn how to tell jokes.
Is it me? But when he said Jessica Rabbit, I was just like, damn.
Damn.
For real though, right?
I was like,
Instantaneously,
damn. I even
just
forgot
like-
the whole thing we were talking about. I was like, damn, that's one cartoon I would do.
There you go. That's a smash. That's a smash.
That's smash.
Hey, we men
Men.
overall. Overall, we're still men.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, we're still gonna think about even cartoons. You know, so no, but overall, like, wait, when you thinking of relationships and the whole me, you know, my body, my thing, it comes with the relationship as well.
Yeah.
You know, you picked that one person and you knew what that one person was about. That's why sometimes a girl doesn't want a guy until they taken, because that whole factor in their mind.
Oh, they can be.
I missed something that he has that someone else wanted. So now they making friends, and then they start saying, damn, I want that relationship. What they do, they wind up trying to take that guy away from you because they want that type of relationship. But then when they take the guy away from that girl, their relationship doesn't go well. You know why? Because you and him wasn't compatible, even though you wanted that.
Right.
What you wanted was their laughter, their communication. But you didn't understand that what
That
they
was-
had was
right.
a different type of laughter.
It's a thing
and
for them.
Right. It was to them, not you. Like your laughter was maybe dad jokes and his was stand-up comedian type of thing. And you thought since they were laughing a lot, no, she was a stand-up comedian thing too.
Right.
So that's why you have to watch
think
it.
At the end of the day, there was a reason you weren't looking at him. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
Exactly.
and sometimes you have to trust that initial vibe, and understand that okay, he can have this with someone else. It means that you can find that yourself, right? Because someone was able to find it.
True.
Because I think for some people, they don't come from a happy home, and they don't hardly see them, that
See
they
that.
can't believe in it, right? But
Right.
you can see that. That's a nice thing to know that it does happen. It may be few and far between, but it does happen. And then now you have to find who matches you the way that that guy found your friend, or found, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't try and impede and take what they got, because you'll never have it. And then more often than not, a man that can be, or a woman that can be taken away by you, can be taken away
By-
from you.
Mm-hmm.
So understand that that is also another risk that you're taking. Now, don't get me wrong. It is few and far between, but it is sometimes a very happy home with the person who took them from a happy home. Right?
I heard people say, you know,
That does
and I
happen.
took him away from someone, and 20 years later we still together. I heard that.
And that does happen, but that's
That's
even
far and
rarer
few.
than the
Yeah.
people who initially find a home with somebody in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yep.
So you're taking you know, if they took 1,001 chance, you're taking 1,000,001 chance. It's not always worth the risk.
Right.
The thing is, you're taking a chance.
Always.
And that's usually what's missing these days, because it's easy to go after this because it's easy. But taking the risk, taking what they say, the leap of faith, treading where angels fear to go, if you want to put it that way, and embracing what comes
That was
from
deep.
it.
That was deep.
Embracing
Let me write that
what
one
comes
down.
from it, that's the real challenge. You know, because online dating, as we were discussing before, the benefit of it is, and somebody asked me, I said, isn't that for desperate people? I said, no. It's for me to look outside of where I am.
Right.
You know, I met someone in Long Island who I would have never crossed
'Cause I don't
paths,
go to
'cause I don't
Long
live in
Island.
Long Island.
I know what I was
Someone
thinking
in
about
New
going there.
Jersey, I would have never come across her in New Jersey. What are the
People-
likely chances? But the thing is, they're out there. And again, going to taking that chance, putting yourself out there. But truly putting yourself out there. Not just to get laid.
Yeah.
No, to actually want to be with someone.
But even that.
And have a future.
But even that, like there are appropriate apps for whatever you're looking for.
Right, right.
I mean, you have to consider, especially in a city like New York, even if you're even to date in New York, people are busy just to make rent. Right?
Yeah.
You're working 2 jobs sometimes, or more, depending on if they're part-time, full-time, whatever, right? Or going to school and working and all that. That you may not necessarily be the person who will be at the jazz club or an actual club, or
Right.
you go out to you're gonna Uber everything to you. That the likelihood of you feeling safe enough to talk to that random person on the train, be you a guy or a girl. Whether or not you're going to be in your New Yorker like bubble, like don't mess with me, don't talk with me, I'm in my headphones, whatever.
Right.
Like it's not likely for you to actually meet people in person frequently. And,
Right.
you're still going to go
Right.
to the occasional concert,
Yeah.
something may happen, your group of friends or whatnot, especially if a lot of people are loners, right? A lot of people these days are very much in their own circle. But it allows you to look for other people looking for what you want, right? You could be in a phase where all you want is flings. There's an app for that. You could be in a phase that you want to go, and you can even find people just to be friends. They actually have
They have
apps,
a
buddy apps
buddy
and stuff
and-
like that. They have apps for people who just want someone to cuddle them at night because that's what they're missing.
And get paid for that.
And and get
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
there's some pay apps.
So
yeah.
so
I'm
what
available for cuddling, just in case.
Well, all I'm saying is that the use of apps isn't bad because, like he says, it can take you out your circle. It can take you out your norm. And, like we were mentioning earlier in the past episode, some people often won't find what they need because they're looking for what they want.
Right.
And maybe by hopping on an app saying, like, you know what, there's an app that's intended for, like Christians, right? And maybe you're someone who believes in God, but let's say you don't go to church every Sunday. You might find someone who's similar to that, or you might find somebody who helps bring you to church by using that app, right?
Right.
Because it's something that you do believe in, it is a part of you, but maybe you need someone who is as deep into it as you, or someone that can drive you deeper, and that's what you need in your life. Or you could be someone who, I like sports, and there's an app for people who want to go to sports events together as like a first date. And you can do that sort of thing. So, and even better, you're someone who's looking for more money. You can develop an app for something very specific, and
For
you'll find a
more
niche
money.
community
Yep.
for it, right? So
True.
you can even develop an app.
Yeah.
So don't downplay what the app dating world is at all. In fact, by not entering it in any way, shape, or form, you limit yourself as a single individual because, again, you're going to be in the same circles, the same settings, the same people that you're not finding success in, right?
And that's the problem.
And any other aspect of your life, if you're not finding success somewhere, don't you usually go another avenue, another route?
It's logical. You have to find another way, another place, and go where you might find the likely chance of someone that actually may be compatible to you.
Yeah. And that's like when they say, oh, the person is not who they were when they were online. First of all, there's only two reasons why they wasn't. One, because they are actual pervert and they were adults or something, or two, you had something else picturing
Picture in
them.
your head, yeah.
They were
always them.
themselves.
Yeah.
But then when they came out, sometimes when they come out to a date, now they don't know how to act. And now you're like, they're not the same person. Yeah, because when you're online, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Versus being in a actual, confrontation with the other person, and you're like,
And by meeting like people get nervous about meeting your expectations where they can't be themselves.
and that's why they're not themselves no more.
Yeah, you reminded me of this PC Richards commercial where the guy is sitting on there building his profile. He has his head, but he creates an Adonis's body.
Right.
It's about as round as they come. And then the other one is the woman who is also just the head, and she's got a supermodel's figure. But both of them are at PC Richards looking at the camera and says, "I'll take it."
It happens.
It happens.
Because
Yes.
you're picturing the wrong side. Like I would love to do an experiment where I have like three couples talking on the internet, no picture, and then tell them to describe the girl to a sketch artist.
Right.
And then go and meet them and see if that's the one that,
That would be dope.
That would be dope, and it would be truthful because, like I said, you go online, it's like a meat market. No, maybe, no. Whereas you have that conversation, but now you're getting, in your mind, you're picturing what this person is based on those conversations. And that's that picture there, so the sketch art. And then you meet, it's like, wow. I mean, how accurate is that?
Because it's funny because me and my wife, sometimes we laugh because when I first was talking to her online, first of all, she didn't introduce herself. How rude. Nah. She just popped into the conversation and we
As
were
she
talking,
should.
right?
It's the chat room.
Well, it's
Damn.
a chat room, but hey guys, like some people jump in the chat room. Hello, everyone. Maybe she did and I never noticed. But anyway, we were talking and I told her after talking to her, the way she was talking about her, where her family is and everything, I already picture what the little tight Japanese dress.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
God.
Yeah, when geisha go.
Yo.
I would
Totally.
geisha all the way, right?
man.
I told her I was starting to laugh, but I
I'm glad
made
he
jokes
describes
about
with
it.
the tiki.
I know, the tiki
I even made the sound effects, right?
What?
But the funny part about it, because since day one, she's like, you always a comedic, like you want to joke about. Because I made the joke talking about, so how tight is your dress? And she was like, what dress? And then she realized, she was like, boy, I don't wear that type of dress. Like,
Wrong country.
right, So, and I was like, and then remember, back in the days, people didn't know about the Philippines or Thailand and stuff like that.
Yes, they did, but not for the right thing.
Right. Or
No.
Cambodians and stuff like
We
that.
love you long time.
Yeah, love you also. Right.
And the lady boys.
Yeah.
Or like, what was that movie, The Hangover? That's
The Hangover and Full Metal
you go.
Jacket.
Well, Full Metal Jacket, you know about Vietnam, like real quick, But, when I was like, okay, Philippines, I used to make a joke about it. I said, oh, yeah, I remember the stepchild Asian thing because no one really talked about
right.
them, So we made jokes like that, but in my mind, she was picturing, and she said, well, you know what? When you started saying you are leaving and going to fight and everything, and then you used to type, I won the championship. She was like, I was expecting a bulky, big, tall guy, because you said you were 6 foot. And when I got to see, I see the 6 foot, 155. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? You thought I was like 300 and buff or something? She was like, well, at least with a 4% fat. So we make jokes
Oh my
about
God.
it.
Imagine that first, like, where's the muscles?
Yeah.
Ain't no muscles on him. No, nothing.
No, but when I sent a picture of me fighting, she was like, that's when she was like, oh, but now when I see you, now I'm scared. She was like, that face you were making when you were kicking the guy and doing all this, so like,
so violent.
she was like, oh, but you don't talk like that, so it's when I say, well, I can speak the way I want to and stuff like that. So when you're doing things like that, you have to like take that internet way and bring it into the real life.
Yeah.
And speak the way. Maybe you probably won't get a relationship with lovers or physical, but you'll get a great friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but you see, I think that's the issue is that people get on, so they used to get into the chat rooms or
Right.
whatever, right? And so they have this, already big desire for this to be the one, right?
Right.
And then when you get faced with, okay, so this is internet me, but I get to you in person, and I know I have these expectations of you. What are your expectations of me?
Mm-hmm.
What, most people, let's say in your head, most people don't, think I'm attractive, and you might be getting your
Right.
subconscious. A lot of people aren't comfortable. Even that first meeting, right? It usually takes one person or the other to kind of break the ice. And if no one ever makes that awkwardness, like addresses the awkwardness, it's just going to be a long night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And at the end of the day, when you put so much pressure on a situation before you're even in the situation, right? Like a friendship would seem like a loss
Yeah.
for some. So now you're even putting more pressure to be like, I have to be the perfect date. This has to be the first step to forever.
And I think that's what messes a lot of people up.
Yeah.
When you go on the first date, you're like,
It's still the first date.
oh my God, is he gonna like me? I always went on first dates, and they'd be like, it was kind of fun. I was like, you know why? Because I didn't think about if I'm coming here to sleep with you. Even
Right.
though when I left the door, I was like, maybe I'll get laid. Look at the mirror, maybe. So, but when I sat there, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of she's the one.
No.
How long are we going to be together? Nothing. I was just like, this is a good conversation. How long is it going to continue? Oh, man, am I going to go home early? Or if it's great, I'm going to be tired to go to work tomorrow because I'm going to be conversating with this girl. That's all. But
You lost the
once you
moment.
put that mindset of, if this is the person, now you got to be like, I got to put what she wants to be with forever. That's what screws it up.
Yeah.
Because now you have to put, okay, I got to be nice. Why do you think they'd be like, it's nice in the beginning, but then it's bad? Why? Because you were putting a thing on the person. I was like me or you don't. I'm not going to fake it.
Man,
I'm like, this is me.
I've gone to almost, I think, probably actually every date in a graphic tee and jeans. And I don't really care. That's how I dress. That's how I'm comfortable.
And that's
And
it.
if you like it or if you're judging me by it, that just lets me know about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Like, how
Like
many-
me, it's just, unlike you, it's like I go in with no expectations whatsoever. I'm
You
bringing who I am to the table. So now it's up to you once you talk, once you get to know me, warrants a second date, warrants more consideration from that point forward, okay. If it doesn't, it was a good first date, whatever.
Yeah,
Go separate ways.
It happens. And I know some people are like, wait, but y'all talking about y'all know relationships, but you went through a couple relationships. Yeah, because I know that's what they're going to comment, the girls, which is true, but I didn't know what I know now.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, I noticed the two big relationships I had was out of that moment of, wow, it's exciting, and when I look at it, I was like, yeah, the total opposite of what I
Actually
always
wanted,
would
yeah.
want to go with. And it's because, my boys were there, and, I was fun. Oh, this girl likes you. All right, cool. So things like that happen. But then I realized why I didn't go back to the 20-year-old Charles that was in a relationship since I was about 16 or 17 with a one girl. When we moved to PA, I realized this is not what I want. We friendly broke up. I even, true story, sent her back to New York to live with my mom because she didn't have no place to go. But I was like, and she realized, yeah, you know what? This is not really us because I know what you want. So I was like, why couldn't I do that when I got in the 21, 22s? Because I was like, yeah, adventurous. And I didn't realize, wait a minute, I realized who I was in 20.
Right.
But I lost that, and then I didn't get it back until after that. So there's things that you notice when people were like, you know what, I'm going to bend for this one moment because he's cute. And then that's when everything screws up. Even the guys, that's not the type of girl that you go with. Yeah, but then you see that booty?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's every dude. I don't know how many times, like, she got to be this level of sexy for me to deal with this level of crazy.
You know what I mean? So,
and then complain about the crazy the entire time.
and then, wait, what happened to that girl? You didn't last. Like,
She was crazy. I told y'all.
yeah. I went to so many dates, and some people were like, dang, you go from girl to girl. I said, no. I go from dates to dates.
Yeah.
And the reason why I go to dates, and they were like, she wasn't the right one? No, I was not going for the right one. I was just going for the company mostly,
Yeah.
and the experience of going here and going there with someone. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah.
And that's why when the girls, I noticed that on the first or the second date, they're already looking at me like a future, I used to break up.
Yeah.
I think I ghost many before even ghost was up. I didn't even know that was a word. I thought it was just don't pick up your
Folks,
pager.
we found Casper.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I thought it was just blame the beeper not having a battery. You know, that's why you couldn't reach me.
Right.
I didn't check my voicemails in the house because I wasn't home.
What's a beeper?
What? It's that thing that doctors have.
Yeah.
What?
Screw y'all.
I believe you can buy them at a place that was once called Radio Shack.
No.
Now you have to go on Amazon. It's under like, you know.
Radio Shack.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, that's that
Radio
antique
Shack.
store.
It's,
The
it's an
antique
old store. Now you have to go on Amazon and get collectibles.
Oh, now it's a vintage box.
Yeah.
It's a vintage box.
You can see them at the museums.
Cool. That I can go
Yeah,
to.
yeah. No, but it's so funny because even then when you didn't do that, the girls didn't come knock. Why are you not calling me no more? Knock on your door. Now that we have all this technology, you go crazy knocking on people's door looking for them. I need answers. Okay, if I give you the answer and tell you why I don't want to talk to you, why do you still do it on your next relationship?
To coin that, I used to say this I said this to the last and every other that comes. I said, look, when it comes to the necessities of life, I don't need you. I can take care of myself, I can cook, I can clean, I manage my bills, all of that stuff. But I do want you. I do want the companionship that comes with sharing the experience that life has to offer. But make no mistake, and I've been very clear about this, I'm the guy that gets it. So if you say a year, 2 years down the line, this is not working, I think we need to move on. Now, at first, maybe I will, depending on the person, I will make a debate to see what's going on.
No, right.
This
Like,
is
why-
what you
what-
really feel. But when you do, I make it clear. I'm not the dude that's going to then call you constantly, text you constantly, emails. Not going to be outside the window going, Stella, baby, I love you. No, that's not going to happen. Yes, it will be a ghost. My life will move forward, and so will yours. If I see you, hey, I'm going to be respectful. Hey, how you doing? How's life? Great, okay, bye.
Yep.
I'm on my way. Because life is a choice.
Yep.
As you say, going back to, it breaks down to the choice.
You make.
You choose, like in Star Trek, Spacey, Khan grabbed the woman by the hand, and then he says, will you do this? She said, no. He says, then go. He says, do this because you choose to, or get out the door.
Yep.
The same way with any relationship, either man or woman. Choose to do this because this is what you want. If not, please, move along.
Yeah, it's true. If you have a choice, and it's so funny because when you say that, I seen there's a Spanish couple that makes funny things. She is the what I call the $1 million effect, the girl that always arguing and everything and forgets about the money. She plays that part, and so in one video, they came out and it was like, we do make a lot of good skits and everything, and the one question is, why do I stay with her? This is a skit, right? She's not really like this person that always argues for no reason and always want to throw things at me. That's not really her. This is just a skit. Get to know that. And at that time that she's saying that, she's like this. So you saying that I argue a lot. That's what you're trying to say through this whole video. So she went back to her character,
Right.
and it's so funny. And then they look and they start smiling. But in one of the skits, she says, waits at the door. He comes in. He's like, whoa. And they speak in Spanish. He says, what happened? Why are you standing here? She's like, I can't take it no more. I'm out the door. And he said, oh, man, but why? Did I do something? You did everything. Okay, well, I'm sorry. And then she's like, okay, then whatever. And then she opens the door and looks back. I am leaving you, and you're going to be by yourself. He was like, okay, all right. And she goes, he closes the door, and then you hear, and he opens the door. Oh, so you're just going to let me go out this door?
Exactly.
I was done. And he was like, but you're the one that wants to leave. It's your choice.
right.
And she was like, no. Matter of fact, I think it's because you got someone and you want to bring them in here. No, you're not going to bring them in this house. And matter of fact, she goes back in the room and she's like, I'm going to unpack. And he was like, you don't have to look for that excuse to come back in, right? So in that whole video, it's like your choice.
Right.
It's like, he ain't going to stop you. Want to go, you want to go. So all their videos have a message, but they're done in a funny, sense of the way. And when you realize it's like, you have that choice to either stay or not. If you don't like it, don't go afterwards and say, because this is the one thing I always hate when I spoke to adult. I wasted the good times of my life with you. You ever hear that in the soap operas and all that?
Yeah, but you just said they were good, right? All right, you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I always say my good life with. Wait,
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
trying to say that you had a bad time with him during those times and you could have had something better? Or were they good times with him? Because you confused me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
What they meant was I could have had something better through that whole time. But it took you 7 to 8 years to realize you could have had something better. And how did you know if you would have had something better?
Better. It could have been worse or it could have been lonely.
The grass
you know?
is not always greener.
So
On the
you
other
don't
side.
you don't know. And there are some people that when I was watching divorce court, because I was like, damn, they still got this on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have one court where there's
Two judges.
two judges,
yeah.
the husband and the wife. So I said, let me watch this to see what they say. And the one guy said, see, she's so bitter because we want to separate. I would do it all over again, even if it's getting me to here to this divorce right now. Because I'm not gonna lie, the few years we were perfect. I'm not gonna. So if I say my whole life with her was no good, then I'm just throwing away the perfect side. She was like, I don't know, see why perfect was you, because you were. So you just mad for the first 2 years, but you want to blame the whole years together. And he's trying to be a person that's saying,
Diplomatic.
Yeah.
hey, we had good times.
Yeah.
It was far and few, like here and there. Like
Okay. So they existed.
they
It
exist.
existed.
So you can't say your whole life because for some reason you stood with that.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have a house and you wanted to stay with her and use
Right.
her house, you still had something there to hold you. So
Exactly.
it has to be good. Like I had a toxic relationship that I think that's where I called the $1 million effect. When we got here, she was always arguing because of the family. Why you going out? Oh, I see you training. Are you gonna go fight again? And then I got a permit for where I started the LDM to open up a basketball thing. So who gave you the permit? It's not the point of who gave me the permit. It's the purpose of I got the permit. So I realized you're not really supportive.
Yeah.
So, and this didn't happen in the beginning because I would have left. But as soon as I seen a month of this, guess what I did? I said, I'm out.
Yeah, consistency counts.
I said, oh, you're not going nowhere? Okay. I tried to leave before she got there, but she got there and all my stuff was in the hallway because my stupid friend went and got the truck late and everything happened. I told him, get here early because she's leaving. So when I get back, again, I'm ghost. I'm out. You know, she thought I was joking, and then she went in the house and waiting. She did the same thing. Oh, so you're going to just leave your stuff out there, huh? I said, yeah. And then when he came, I guess, she started calling me. I never picked up. She opened the door probably and noticed all my shit was gone.
But so here's the difference, Charles. If you call someone's beeper, right?
Oh, here we go.
No. If you call someone's beeper, their phone, and that's all that you can reach, right? Like,
Yeah.
you make that one call, they're not picking up, or you call that one line, nothing picking up. I mean, like, either that thing's
That
not
little
working,
text, yeah.
or
Okay.
it's a simple. But like, here's my thing: people now have you not just on your phone.
Social media.
If
everything.
they have you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can't tell me you didn't check none of these things, and then you were dumb and you let them know where you live. So of course they're gonna come through because here's the thing.
That's why I didn't let nobody know where I live.
No. But here's the thing though. Like your friends, if they couldn't reach you on any of your social media, like let's say your phone broke, right?
Right.
They would come and check on you, right? Their next thought isn't gonna be, oh, this person's leaving me or they don't like me no more. We're not friends. They're gonna be like, oh snap, maybe they're in trouble.
Right.
Right? So that's probably why, because now people are so connected that once you're out the loop, people think something bad happened rather than
Something good.
we lost a relationship.
See,
Where
but-
back then it was just like, well, if we
Yeah.
just had a relationship, right? And now you're no longer talking to me through our only means of communication that actually worked, maybe you just don't want to talk to me. Because now there's only one way to do it, right?
Right.
So obviously you're not picking up, like, because eventually if you're not picking up, your mother or whoever's on the phone, like, shut up, I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to avoid whatever. This and that. Somebody usually gets on the phone and cusses whoever calling you.
he not want to talk to you.
Right. So like that's normally where you get the okay.
Yeah.
If you're not answering a beeper, which is a whole message system,
Yeah.
it's not a voicemail box, right? So obviously you're ignoring my calls.
Right.
But when you can't answer anything, and especially
That just means I don't want to be with you.
Nobody puts their status onto no one can see if you're online or not. So now it shows you were online, when you were online, how long ago. They're going to be like, are you okay?
Right.
Is the first thing they're going to think before, are you just ignoring me?
See, but I want to add a little bit more to that. If you are seeing someone and all of a sudden you call them and they don't want to answer and everything, and the first thing that you think about, oh, he left me. That means you were doing something wrong that you don't want to admit that it was wrong in the first place. But if you say, this is not him. It must be something wrong. Let me call the police. That means you know or you feel like the relationship was good, so he couldn't not want to leave me. Right. You understand? So something must have happened to him. So, like, you ever seen the wives and son call the cops? What happened? My husband didn't come. Well, maybe he left you for someone else. No, this is not. Because in their mind, they didn't have a problem.
Wait, Charles, but remember that curse word from the last episode?
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, they're going to think that something was bad because what could they have done wrong? They did everything for you, right?
Yeah. I forgot about that,
Yeah.
I was trying not to curse. This is a family show.
I'm just saying, sometimes that accountability thing is very
see, now we got to keep beeping this out, I'm hoping the editors know how to do the beeps. But
so as far as the ability word is concerned,
well, we don't have that much we don't have that much money for things, so you have to do your own. You have to do your own beat. Yeah.
I want to make sure I don't.
I'm trying to get banned.
Yeah. with the girls with their beep and no, on females, we're just laughing, but we're not laughing about you're not taking now
accountability. I'll say
accountability.
I'm a bad guy.
There were some guys out there. There were some guys out there that are the same way,
Of course.
But it's mostly the woman, because you know why? And I'm going to tell you why. You ask a woman, does men cheat? Heck yes. Why? Because they dumb and everything. Does a woman cheat? No. So why did you go with this other guy? Because he didn't give me conversations. He didn't want to talk. They would not want to admit that they cheated. It was because the man did something wrong.
I love that. He cheated first. So you
that's another one.
You still
so
cheated,
it's still cheating.
But they were already cheating, so it's fine. Like, we are now in an open relationship. Does he know that?
Yeah.
Because he would just be cheating with no problem then.
They would never.
There's no such thing as
cheating. Right. So
on a break, like that's a big one from the friends. We're on a break. Like
that's the one that gets me mad, because how you said we need to take a break, right? I don't care if it's for 24 hours, right? If we're on a break and I do what I do or you what you do, who's to be mad 25th hour? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and then the whole overview. I can't believe you saw. Were you talking to her the entire time? Nah, man, it's called Tinder.
Yeah.
Unless
you say we're going to take a break, but we're not going to see no other person. Now you put but if you say we need a break, that means there's no such thing as being together but not together. It's not such thing. That means we're not together, and then if we decide to get back together,
if you were married and got separated, and one of the two of y'all or both of y'all were sleeping with other people while y'all were separated, well, y'all were married. But y'all weren't together. You know what I'm saying?
I mean? Y'all separated.
Y'all shared a piece of legal document at that point. Mm-hmm. The relationship was off.
Yep.
And there's some people that even
way off.
Even some of them, they don't even get separated. They get what they call mental divorce, meaning they didn't do the paperwork, but they know we're done. And you go your way.
No.
Now, let's say if you get back together again, because some people do, they wind up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, since we're already married, but now you can't be like, so who you slept with when you were not with? It's us. We still wasn't together. So when you say a break, that's
them dangerous words.
Break up. I don't care if you didn't put the up word in there. It's still called break up. Yeah. So we're breaking up, right? No, we're just not going to be with. Wait, you're confusing me. We're not going to be together, but we're together. But we're not broken up. We're on a break.
Yo, but can we be on a break every Friday to Sunday? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying if that's what we gonna be doing.
You know what I'm saying? Pick a good day. Wednesdays are not really okay.
I don't need to be on a break on a Wednesday.
The middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? Weekends is good.
That hot button.
Word.
Yeah. 2 times in a weekend in the summer.
Nah, but you know, I say that laughing so hard because you know damn well he's thinking I'm gonna have a great weekend. She gonna have a great 5 minutes later onward.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier for them.
No, and plus a guy be like, yeah, I'm gonna have a great weekend. Oh, and as soon as she closes that door and nobody's here and you hear the sound, oh shit, she's not here.
The sound of silence.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, nah, man. You start playing video games, you start running around, you thinking you're Tom Cruise, with the sliding with your underwears and all this other stuff because she's not there. Now, some of them be like, yeah, I don't care. And start breaking down in the shower. Boy, she laughed me. There's other guys like that too.
Who are those guys?
I don't know. But I'm just trying to say, there has to be, if there's a bad, there's a good. So I'm just saying.
That type of dude is already doing that before she leaves the door. That's what I'm saying. That I don't know any dude who's gonna be closing that door and then no, he's crying while she's leaving. Baby, don't go, don't leave. I didn't mean to. That's what you're gonna get.
But since we in this subject, I laugh because I have a friend of mine. The one, everyone got that one friend that breaks up with a girl, but acts like he don't care. But then every time, like we're playing a game, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, take that like my ex-girlfriend, you know, because she just left. I don't care if she left.
Oh, God.
So what she left? And then you be talking about, yo, so what we going to have for lunch? Like hamburgers or something? Yeah, like last time I wanted hamburgers, but I'm glad that she's not here no more. Like, you still talking about her. Yo.
That's unheard of another time.
Wait.
That's one of those hurt that.
How long were they together though?
I don't know.
Because here's the thing.
It could be 2 minutes.
No. Well,
So
it's one of them friends.
Some of those.
No,
because he wasn't with her that long to be attacked.
No, because you know, if it was a really long relationship that finally ended, right?
Yeah.
There's so many years of resentment that you kind of got to cut because
You gotta take it out.
He's probably like saying all the things he wished he said while they were together. As opposed to the one guy who's just bitter about every girl that leaves him. That's a whole nother story. That's the dude where you're just like, damn, bro, like, shut up.
That's like that video where the same couple, he was like, you know what? I don't care what you say. I ain't going to do this. You take it your way and you go do what you want to do because I'm going to do what I want to do because I am the man of this house. If you don't like it, you can go wherever you want to go. And she was like, right? Yeah, that's what he was telling me he said. And I was like, I started cracking up because I thought that was him telling her. And he was like, yeah. And but he was so passionate about it. Like, he was talking to her. And he was like, yeah, that's what he told me. And I was like, wow, you can't be saying things like that. So it's like all those years of him wanting to say it. He's like, I can say it, but blame it on someone else.
Right.
So it's when I be watching, because now I've been watching like relationship funny videos, and it makes me laugh because, you know, same situation, but it was another group. The guy's walking with his girl, walking to the car. He's like, I'm putting this video out here because I want people to know I am so in love with this girl right here, and I don't care who knows it. We go together. Peanut butter and jelly. Anything you want, she's there for me. And she's smiling and everything. He puts her in the car, close the door. But if you could, run. Because this bitch is crazy.
Yes. Oh, my God. That's so
and then he goes around to the car. And he,
Hi, it's Charles Aloman. I hope that you're liking this show so far. But if you want to see the extended version of this episode, you will have to go to Roku TV exclusively on there. Just download LDM Network app and you're good to go. See you next week and have some fun.